shifting to Washington, President Trump says he's looking forward to a, quote, open dialogue with Twitter after an unannounced meeting with the company's CEO, Jack Dorsey. The president has been critical of the social media company despite using it frequently, if not daily. Jessica Smith is here in person with all of the details on what they discussed. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, good to be here, guys. So the president says they talked about a lot of issues about Twitter and social media in general. Twitter tells me they talked about keeping the public conversation healthy ahead of the 2020 elections and the opioid crisis. But just hours before this meeting happened, the president was tweeting about his complaints about Twitter, saying that the company is playing political games. You know, the president and Republicans have really talked about how they think the company is censoring conservatives. So that has to be something that came up. And the Washington Post had a report saying that the president was complaining that he's losing Twitter followers. And that's what a lot of the meeting focused on.
So yesterday when this story first came out, I kind of said maybe this will put an end to it, because if you look at the way that Trump has interacted with a bunch of other people, namely Vladimir Putin, he comes out of the meeting and says, well, he told me this, so it must be true. I wonder if Jack Dorsey could sit there in the Oval, looking ridiculous, by the way, with the whole beard situation and no beanie on, and just say, hey, we don't censor conservatives. There's a lot of bots on our platform. You may lose followers or gain followers. There's nothing I can do. Maybe he would get a satisfactory answer out of that.
I mean, maybe, but I am doubtful about that, because you look, when Dorsey comes to Capitol Hill, he has already made this argument in front of lawmakers over and over again.
And the president doesn't care.
Right.
Well, but he thinks all those lawmakers are idiots, though, notably, right? He's complaining to Congress yesterday.
Jack?
No, Trump.
Okay.
Yesterday, Trump's complaining about Congress not doing enough. So I'm wondering if he just talks to the man himself, being Jack Dorsey, Trump gets the answer he wants, right?
I mean, maybe, and the president did tweet about this yesterday, saying that they were looking forward to an open dialogue, that they're going to keep talking. So you can see it there. He's a great meeting at this afternoon at the White House with Jack. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, this is a huge conversation in Washington, and it's not just President Trump who thinks that Twitter is censoring conservatives. There was a hearing earlier this year where they really focused on that. So it's not just President Trump. And if he hears from other lawmakers like Senator Ted Cruz, who is a really vocal person on this, maybe this conversation continues.
Jess, is this just the beginning of seeing tech CEOs go to the Hill and talk to President Trump ahead of the elections, because it's going to be, these companies are under so much scrutiny, especially given what happened in the 2016 election?
Potentially, and you'll remember that the Google CEO was at the White House not very long ago, and that was another surprise meeting. We didn't know it was going to happen. It wasn't on the public schedule. Same thing with this hearing, or
That's
this
how they
meeting.
like it, because criticism would come.
Exactly, and you know, Dorsey addressed that in an email to some of the employees that some other outlets have reported, saying, I know some of you don't want me to take this meeting, but we have to meet with heads of state. We have to do this to try and, you know, further the dialogue and whatnot.
Very quickly, I have not really understood that narrative. I don't want to get too inside-y media here, but I saw a lot of people, as soon as the tweets came out yesterday saying that they have met, and that was like, big scoop, they just met. A lot of journalists, the initial response was like, oh, this is bad, or uh-oh, or oh no, as if like, well, CEOs shouldn't even meet with the president. I mean, it was like when you hold a seashell to your, and you hear the ocean. It was like the minute we saw the tweet saying they met, you could hear the critical tweets coming. Here they come, and sure enough, all this criticism just for meeting with the president, and I don't really understand that. I mean, are you supposed to say no to meeting with the president?
The president views the company's platform in bad faith, so meeting with him is playing by his rules, and so you're legitimizing his baseless, kind of basic criticisms of Twitter. Yeah, but he basically criticizes Twitter for ways their platform does not actually work, and now the CEO of Twitter is going there to have the president legitimize his complaints. I think that's sort of where that comes from.
But we've seen this debate with other companies as well, with the roundtables, with the workforce boards that he puts together, the Council of CEOs.
Here's Dorsey's tweet about it, by the way.
Right, yeah, so I think we've seen this conversation play out over and over again. We saw those workforce councils disband after Charlottesville, but now they're back. Ivanka Trump is leading one. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we all remember the business council. Jess, very briefly, while we have you here in person, 2020 thoughts, the latest on that, and especially as supposedly Joe Biden going to officially announce.
Yeah, Biden is supposedly going to announce and just add another Democratic name to this very, very crowded field. The town hall that was a couple nights ago was pretty interesting with some of the 5 top candidates. I think we'll see this whittle down eventually. But yeah, just another name to the list.
Right.
Gang gang.
That's it. Gang, gang, gang.
All right, Jess, thanks.